let's have a chat with this small but important group. So,
So Shireen, what are your plans for 2026?
We are currently nailing down a date for a show at the gallery in Austin that Eric shows at. So, it's right near where the gallery location is. There's a beautiful Porsche dealership, literally in spitting distance. So we're gonna do a show with hopefully a lot of Porsche presence and a lot of that art at it, and working on doing some shows in hopefully Austin and Houston. In the market here, we did some closer local shows in Dallas last year that was really good. So trying to see how that market's firming up, hopefully a little bit stronger with those shows. They've previously been a lot of outdoor shows, but there's new indoor shows popping up. So hopefully those will be good, and do some nice booths there with a little bit of a shorter drive, right, than Miami. But yeah, it was just nice to kind of take some time off and catch up and everything, and just see what happens next. Eric's working on some commissions from the Miami show, and a donation that he's doing for one of the collectors too. He'll be working on that. So he's just getting going on all of that.
Good. The
Yeah.
shows you're doing in Texas, are they at galleries?
Um, so we're doing a show at a gallery. That's the one in Austin, but there's also, so last year we did one of the Saatchi shows in Dallas, and we liked that. It was a different vibe, a different, they do it differently. It's a smaller cost to get in, and then they take a portion of it. But it's
Yeah.
interesting because since they're running all the sales, you can see what's being sold, right? It's a little different of a thing. So he's actually applying as a gallery to sell at what is it? The other art? No, not the
Affordable.
other art fair, the affordable art fair,
yeah.
to do a gallery booth with a friend. So we're waiting to hear back for the Austin show on that. They're going to be releasing booths coming up pretty soon. So we're hoping to do that one.
What month is that in?
Uh, I want to say it's June, but I'll Google it, or I'll look it up when we're done talking. I want to say it's sometime this summer, and then they're doing their first one in Houston uh later in the year. I'll look up both of those dates and jump back on with that. So, when we first moved to Texas, there really weren't that many indoor shows happening here. That's how we found you folks to begin with. Because I think you were still doing that Dallas show, right? Way back when?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did it with West Edge Design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the other
there's
art
just,
fair, Dallas, is in May, the 7th through the 10th of May.
yeah, and that's the one we did last year. And it was a pretty good show. It's definitely a smaller show compared to Miami, but definitely a lot of people coming through buying. And people were buying a lot of prints, but people were also buying originals from us and other artists. So it was a nice mix of just a lot of art happening, but definitely a lot of prints too. So we heard good stuff about the other ones, about the affordable art fair, and thought we'd try one of their shows or two of their shows. But yeah, just it's interesting, there's definitely so many shows happening these days. And then we're excited to do a gallery show because we've done real well with that Austin gallery this last year. The second half of the year was really strong in Austin, and hoping to continue that this year.
Good.
That's great.
So that's what we have going on. All good stuff.
What about you, Vivian?
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Um, well, I applied to the Santa Fe Gallery Association, and I did that in early or late December. and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So that hopefully we'll see some positive results around that. And then another plan or strategy for this year, I'd like to get into another airport, since I was at the Sunport in July. And those are my two main things for right now that I have planned. We'll see.
So the airport thing, do people call you and say, hey, I'm interested in this piece or something?
No, I didn't. I had a nice big chart there with all of my information, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Did you, and that's local to you?
Is it local?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Albuquerque.
Yeah. So then, make sure you take your mailing list and take photos of the display there and then email that to all of your clients or any of your friends and say, hey, when you're passing through the Albuquerque airport, make sure you go to Terminal 2 and see all my whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great thought.
Yeah, you want to promote yourself the best you can. I mean, even, Eric and Shireen probably get back from Miami and then we just finished Miami. Here's a picture of our booth. We made great sales or whatever. And here, if you still want to buy something, because you're an old client, we'll give you 20% off or whatever you want to do. I mean, you got to keep promoting yourself all the time. We do.
Maybe even a selfie competition with your artwork in the airport. You could do something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Good
It's
idea.
not there any longer, but that's a fun thought. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, Shireen.
Yeah.
People love taking selfies more and more and more. So it's
Yeah.
like the more you can tie them into interacting
Yeah.
with everything, I think one of the most important things that I ever learned social media wise was probably at the Santa Fe class. I don't know if it was Eric's daughter that was talking about it, and she said reply to every comment that you get, because if you get 5 comments and you reply, that means you have 10 comments, and then they usually say something back or interact with it. And I
Right.
found that like the more I interact with them interacting with me, then it boosts like 5 other things on the Instagram, it seems to, or on Facebook. It just is kind of one of those self-perpetuating things. And it's not all the time. Like it's, when we're in Miami, then I see that growth happening across the board on like 5 really good posts. But it's really cool that you can, see that movement when you're being active at an event or something like that. And boy, if I was in an airport, what an experience, Vivian. When you do
I know,
that,
it was very
something
special.
like
It really
that.
was.
Yeah.
I've
How
got
did you
some
get
great
into that?
photographs. Love it.
How did you end up getting into that?
I just I just looked up the website and for Sunport, and they have a lot of art that's actually shown there. They have 3 display cases, and they have art. It's under construction still, but they do have a lot of art in their warehouses. And I just contacted the person and forgot about it. I said, okay, I did that. I'm just going to see what happens. And then about 6 months later, I got an email and he said, I'm so sorry. It took me so long. I was on paternity leave. And within 2 hours, I had a show there. So
Okay,
it was
there's
pretty fabulous.
everyone's
Yeah.
next new idea right there. Look, your local airport, wherever it might be, look them up. Find out if they have an art program and find out how to apply. And if there isn't a way to apply, call the guy, the person.
This has one, and
know?
we've been accepted, but they're waiting to let us know the piece they want, where it'll fit in their show. So we've been accepted, and it was a big installation, which shocked us, but more airports are starting to do this. So I would check your local airports websites.
And where is that? Where did you get accepted?
Minneapolis.
Excuse me?
Minneapolis.
Oh, great.
The guy who is in Minneapolis used to be in Santa Fe. Mhm.
Oh,
Where this idea actually started. It's a whole movement on original art in public spaces.
Mhm. So Vivian,
great.
the Santa Fe Gallery Association does the art in the airport in Santa Fe.
Hmm.
So you should get to Lisa, who's the director of the Gallery Association. I know you've met her.
I have. I don't know her last name though.
Just a minute. Can't think of it. And see if all of her shows have a theme. So, make something that can fit into her theme.
Right.
Her last name is Stewart.
Stewart.
Stewart, right.
Stewart.
Yeah. And her phone number is?
Wait a
I
minute.
think I have her card, but um, since I did apply to the Gallery Association, would you consider reaching out to her, Linda, and seeing if she could take a look at my application or,
I can do that.
okay, that'd be fantastic.
Vivian, I applied last year to the Santa Fe Gallery Association. Maybe you'll have more luck than I did, but I got no feedback from them. I even had trouble finding out if my application went through and everything. So I paid and I applied. I got confirmation that I went through, but I never heard from them again.
Yeah, I applied with them about 4 years ago, and they did write back and they gave me some good feedback on how to uh, beef up my statements, etc. But I'm still waiting to hear back from them on this one. But
Yeah,
I'm following up with them, and I'll continue to do that.
To be a member or to be on their portal?
To be on their portal.
Okay. Let me see what we can do. All right, Renee and Mary Lynn, what's your 2026 plan? What have you got going?
Renee and I are in the middle of major reconstruction here at our house, and we're doing the demo. So we haven't been doing a ton.
Mary Lynn got 2 pieces of art done while I was taking off the plaster in the bedroom.
I see.
So we're in the middle of something else. That'll go to the end of the month, but we are doing a show in May. That'll after our April show in New York. We have one in May here in Minneapolis, and it has to do with the Mississippi River. And so our trees will go into that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we found that through friends of ours who live downtown, and their condo building puts up original art. And we went and met with the 2 women who curate it, and they loved our work. And so they said, we'll fit your work in with the theme. Don't worry about it.
But
Oh, that's perfect.
it's a building that has art on every floor. It's specifically big on art in public spaces in this building, and it's going to be a big show downtown Minneapolis for people who live in. It's going to be more than just that one building. There are a lot of buildings that are working on this art installation and art show together, and it has to do with art on the Mississippi. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So we'll be involved with that too.
So then Santa Fe, we plan for Miami this year. We're going to try to connect up. One of the things I discovered is there are some smaller groups of artists around town who do sort of smaller shows up in the north part of the city where the art sort of studios are. We might try to connect with some of them. We're not going to we will be connecting with some of them to try to get a little more local focus. And we're still waiting to hear from Redwood about their 4th show.
I'm still waiting to hear.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to them last week, and they sent us over some questions, and then
Yeah.
it's almost like they didn't even know who we were at the. Anyway, we've answered all
Yeah.
those questions, so we're
Yeah.
supposed to get an answer by the end of January about Chicago. So
Okay.
It is Chicago. Yay.
Good.
Okay. So we'll definitely be, if it's there, we'll be there.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's going to be a different kind of show. It's on the sixth floor, I think, of the merchandise.
Oh, the merchandise mart.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
We know the merchandise mart well.
the one of a kind is on the 7th. So
yeah, it's on the 7th.
Yeah,
Same
I was
place
gonna
as
say
the one.
it's on the 7th floor.
Yeah, same place. You guys did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done it twice.
Yeah. So the ceilings are not real tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a
Yeah, we
different
know the
thing,
gig
but
there.
the booze will be bigger,
Sure.
and the pricing should be decent, and
You'll have storage there probably too.
yeah, there'll be tons of storage. The
Yep,
floor,
exactly. Yep.
the floor is huge, so
Yeah,
there's no
Yes, it
way
is.
we're not going to absorb all that floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we want to work with the one of a kind show to make sure they invite all their clients.
Mhm.
They want us to come back every year,
Mhm.
and they also want to attract an audience that would end up returning and shopping at the merchandise mart, right?
Sure.
So those of you that aren't familiar with the merchandise mart, it's got its own zip code. That's how big it is. It was built by Joseph Kennedy, and years ago, probably 100 years ago, I would guess, maybe in the 30s. And I don't know how many floors it is, maybe 12, something like that.
That, yeah.
And then, I've been there quite a few times. I used to go meet with Christopher Kennedy because Chris Kennedy and the Merchandise Mart used to handle Pier 94 and 92, where we did Art Expo. And so I would fly there and Chris Kennedy is Bobby Kennedy's 11th child, his youngest son, Bobby and Ethel. And super nice guy. I knew him well, and we did a little business with him, and then he left, and they sold the company to Vernado out of New York, and Vernado owns it now. So, but we know the people that have been working there a long time. I have over 20 years, and so I have a relationship there. And I think it'll be really good. It'll be a different show. It's not going to be our walls; it'll be their walls, and they
Yeah,
can
but-
make you. The booths have to be shaped in a certain way and stuff, but it's well, you guys know, you've done the show there, so
So the walls are very hard.
yeah.
Nails are not.
Nails do not, where you're going to let
Have to
let
have to be
everybody know.
screwed.
No nails.
Yeah, it has to be screws.
Has to be
Yeah, you gotta
screws.
screw, yeah. So no big deal. But yeah, and they get power outlets, free Wi-Fi, they have all
Yeah.
kinds of benefits, and so, and they have a good mailing list that they're going to help us with, so it should be good. I told them the end of January is my go or no go date because we need enough time to put it all together.
Sure. Yeah, you have to have lead time.
What month are you thinking?
It would be October,
Perfect.
Works for us.
Walter, it shows Walter Young. Here it is.
October's a great month there.
Yeah.
It's we're going to load in October 6th. The fair is the 8th through the
Okay.
11th.
Okay. And for all those who don't know, food is really accessible there. You can walk to everything.
Plus, there's food in the bottom of the building.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have Starbucks and everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I remember
Several
that.
restaurants.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really great.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's right downtown. I mean,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
attract-
right on the Chicago River.
Yeah, we should attract a good crowd.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Beautiful old building.
it is.
Great
It's
building.
historic, actually.
The funny story, the first time I ever met with Chris was probably 20 years ago, and I flew in and went to their offices, and I had to use the restroom. So I went to the restroom, and I'm standing there, and I look over, and the guy next to me, I looked just like a Kennedy, and I said, You look like Chris Kennedy. He goes, I am Chris Kennedy. He goes, are you my next meeting, Eric Smith? I go, yeah, I'll shake your hand later.
Yeah, later. Yeah, later.
He started laughing. That was the
Nice.
first time we got introduced to each other.
Nice.
So one other thing, we realized we were a little behind just because as soon as January 3rd came, we started ripping the room apart. But one of the things we're going to do this weekend when we are frozen in, because it's going to be -12
For the
Yeah.
hype.
for the high, we are going to start making our business plan.
Yeah.
We're a little behind where we usually want to be, but we sort of wanted to see what you guys had going first before we started committing to anything else.
Well, we hope that we've got that nailed down
Yep.
soon.
Well,
So do
we'll know
we.
in the next 10 days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then Laura will put together a website and the marketing team will get all that done. And then we will, within a week, we'll make an announcement and have the
And there's a
price.
hotel that's
You
connected
heard
right
it
to
here
the,
first.
yeah. There's a hotel that's connected to the venue, to the merchandise mart. So you just walk across a skyway. You don't even have to go outside. So that's a nice feature too.
And there are 10 hotels around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie, how about you? What's happening for 2026?
I'm on a wait list to be showing at the Toronto Artist Project Fair, which is, I think, the biggest fair in Canada. So I'm waiting. I was supposed to get news before the end of January, but I'm on the wait list. So I'm not that hopeful about that, but we'll see.
It's a good
And I
show.
just, sorry?
It's a good show. I've been to it a number of times.
I would really, really love to get into that show. It's hard to get into the Canadian shows, for crying out loud. I've tried 2, 3 shows and I haven't been accepted. So I'm hopeful for this one. And I just shipped 7 paintings to a gallery that's taking them to the equestrian events in Florida, Wellington and Ocala. So I have a lot of paintings that are going to be there. And that's really very exciting for me. It's very nerve-wracking, but very exciting. And I keep pushing and keep doing same thing.
Good.
It's
Good.
great, Sophie.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, I keep doing same goals, try to work on my social media skills. And I'm gonna put up I'm gonna fix my website. Somebody suggested that I put my prices on there, so I'm gonna put my prices on my website.
It's a good idea.
And sorry?
Good idea.
Yeah, I think so. And keep painting, of course, and keep going, keep trying.
So I think that's Sophie brought up interesting concept. She said she's keeping doing what she's been doing. But I guess I had a conversation recently with an artist who she actually came to do a demonstration at my ceramic studio. And she and I got into this conversation because she started doing something that was quite different. She had been doing all of her work on the wheel, and she was inspired by watching her son, who's somewhat of an artist, and he's doing a lot of origami, large origami pieces, and he was working on an installation. And she thought, huh, I wonder if I could do that with clay. And that just made me think, for all artists, how much do you challenge yourself? Or have you thought about different ways to present your art? I was watching, it was a little YouTube video, and this woman was making what I'll call, and she called smalls. And what she discovered is she could sell 4 smalls for the same price that she sold one large piece. And people would buy those 4 smalls. The entry price kind of caught them and captured their attention, but then they realized, well, can't just do 1, got to do at least 2, but maybe 3 would look, oh, well, I think 4 would be great. So I guess my challenge for you, for all of us who make artwork, what could you do that's different? Is there a different format? Are limited editions a possibility? I don't know for Shireen, for Eric, working in metals. Is there, and I know he did some new different things like with the astronaut for Miami that brought a whole different idea to his artwork because it was figurative. I don't know, just pushing it out there in terms of new art ideas. And it could be something that you even test out by pushing it out to people that have already been your collectors. Hey, we've got something new. Thought we'd show it to you first. What do you think? And if for no other reason than to get some opinions back, but also maybe to sell some of it to them.
Yeah, Linda, I had some really good successes with what you're talking about. I had 2 residencies at La Fonda, one in October during the balloon festival, and then one about a week before Christmas. And I made a lot of small pieces, and they all sold. And it was great. And I did really well, and in large part because of that. So I definitely underscoring what you're saying.
Yeah, it presents a entry level. Is a way to think about it as well. And I always think of Kate Taylor because she does huge, large pieces, but when she does a booth with us, she brings smalls, and her smalls are very small. I think they're only, I want to say they're 5 by 5, but she'll do a whole row right along the bottom of these smalls. Big one, huge, big piece at the top, some, couple of medium-sized pieces below that, and then a whole row that almost look like, punctuation marks on the back wall. And she sold that wall, the whole thing, just like that. I want the whole thing, just like that. A couple of times, but those smalls are, and they've been around. There's a couple of shows. I can't remember what they're called, but and they're not local here, but that's what they are. Is they're all, the pieces have to be, I think it's 20 by 20 or less in size. So it's kind of an interesting concept. But, there's other mediums. Maybe you already do limited editions. What about limited editions on a different media, a different material? Would that work? Would your trees, Rennie and Mary Lynn, would they, could you do a limited edition on aluminum? Could you do it on wood? What would it look like? I don't know. Just pushing it out there as an idea as we think about what you could do for 2026.
Interesting, Linda, because right before we left for Miami, we were taking some smalls with us, and we had decided, okay, we're not going to do smalls at shows anymore. And then we set the smalls up in a different sort of
We should set them up the same way as the oval tree, the large oval tree. So it looked like a large oval tree, only all in smalls.
And we had a couple people come by and say, you could sell that either as one whole piece or in threes and twos, and that's exactly what worked.
Yeah.
So we've decided we're not getting rid of the smalls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People wanted twos or threes, or after the show wanted a couple. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep doing that.
Did you see the young lady that hung all the ceramic donuts in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She had, I think about 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, Laura? I took you over there, and
Yeah.
Kelly, I took Kelly over there, I think. They were $225, and they were overpriced. And I had said, because she had put a lot of time into it, and they were only like this big, right? But they were really cool. And I said to her, if you price those at 145, I think you probably would have sold all of them. I'm pretty sure she would have, because we could have bought like 6 for under $1,000, and then they would make this cool thing in your
Yes.
kitchen or
Mhm.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But,
thought the same thing, Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, 225 was just a little bit high. And it was with that really Cario. I mean, he's an architect, and he's by trade, and he does this. I'm pulling up his booth. It's yeah, he's Cario Contemporary. And he hung his booth, so they did really well.
Yeah.
He hung his booth so well. It was just a beautiful display. And she did sell. There's no doubt she sold, but I think it's very important. Renee and Mary, I don't think your work would translate into prints at all, because you have that encaustic
Right.
look and all that stuff.
No.
I don't think it would. Your digital prints or anything wouldn't work for
No.
you guys. But doing
We've
small
thought about
pieces,
it, and it just doesn't
It,
work.
it doesn't work.
No.
no, but doing those small pieces
The
like the one
small
you said,
pieces
Small
totally
pieces are
works.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly and I, we have it here in
Yeah.
my office. It's, those are great. And if you can sell those at $250, I mean,
Yeah.
at least when I had galleries, every one of the galleries that I had a museum shop in the front, which was basically one wall with shelves. And we had these Poupée Millet dolls, which were from France, and they had ceramic arms, and then they were stuffed with Millet, beans or whatever they call it. And they were all different, and they were handmade, and they were, I don't know, $100 or something. And then we had vases and glassware, and the purpose of the museum shop was for somebody to be able to buy a piece of art, maybe three-dimensional work, but something under $500, so they would come back to the gallery and end up buying art at one day. And it's a good thing to have too. It shows, and whatever you can do to get somebody a price point that somebody can afford sometimes. It takes a while to develop clients sometimes. I remember I had a guy who came in, and I must have educated him for 3 or 4 months before he bought a poster for $125. And I was like, big deal. But he eventually ended up buying, 5 paintings from me, and spent about 20 grand over the course of 3 years. And that's a good client. I mean, if you have a lot of those, it works out really well. So yeah, at least you get to tell your story, even if it's telling the story about, something small, right? Yeah.
Well, but I think that's, all of that is good for you being able to do exactly that. Tell your story, build your brand, feel confident about about putting yourself out there. And sometimes, it's unrequited love, but other times it builds on itself.
Yep.
Okay. Well, hopefully by the time we get together again next month, we'll have made a significant announcement.
I hope
I got
so.
my fingers crossed. I think it could be really a terrific. I think it could be a good venue, and I think it could be a really great fair for us in Chicago. So we'll.
The other thing we're working on is Kelly and I are going to San Francisco tomorrow. We'll meet Linda over there. I have a meeting at Fort Mason. So we're planning a show there for June of 2027 in San Francisco, right under the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a
Wow,
beautiful
that'd be great.
facility. Yeah, Fort Mason's really cool.
It is.
It's part of the Presidio, and you can't do an event there unless it's a cultural event. The rent's not cheap. I mean, they're kind of expensive, but I think it's because it's a historical site and all that stuff. But it's a cool place, and I've been there a number of times to. They've had a number of San Francisco type art fairs there, but uh, anyway, I think June would be a really good month because there's not a lot going on in June. Art Basel in Switzerland is in June, but that's not our market anyway, so who cares? And you know, um, it might be in May. I'm just not sure yet, but either May or June. We'll find out tomorrow at 1:30 when I have my meeting.
Great. Good luck with
What
that.
Yeah.
what kind of show would that be, Eric? Would it be
Uh,
the same type of show as in Santa Fe, or
no, much bigger than that. Santa Fe is our smallest event. It's this little boutique show with, 60 artists and a couple galleries. And it's a funny market because it's really meant for people that are looking. The best thing an artist could do by going there is finding a gallery, right? So you would have representation in Santa Fe. And if you could send out some things prior to getting to Santa Fe, I just met with a guy I play tennis with yesterday. We had coffee. He's at my club here, and he's like he bought a 4x15 booth in Santa Fe, and he actually does these paintings. I went over to his house, and I'm like, Fraser, these are quite cool. He like goes to Joshua Tree, and he'll find a cactus in this old shed, and then he puts in this character who lives there, and he has signs, and they're really, I mean, he's got stories behind everything he does. They're actually pretty good. And I'm like, your work is really fun. I can see a lot of people really appreciating this, especially if you tell the story. He likes to talk. I'm like, but don't talk too much, okay? Just tell them what they need to hear. And then anyway, he wanted to have coffee and he asked me all the questions you guys already know, like, do these price tags look okay? And then I'm going to put up this decal, and I'm like, oh my God, uh, he's never done a fair. He's never even done an outdoor fair, but he's in 3 galleries in Canada, and because they're selling his work, and it's only like $3,500 and stuff. Anyway, my point is, I said to him, do some research. There's a couple hundred galleries in Santa Fe. Send him pictures of your work. Let him know you're going to be at Art Santa Fe. Invite him to come. We have like between 10 and 12, we're hosting like muffins and coffee for any trade buyers that come in to galleries and stuff. Tell them to come have a cup of coffee and come see your work. And maybe if you take 8 paintings there and you only sell 1 or 2, that's okay. They'll take the other 6 to their gallery, and now you've got representation in Santa Fe. And he's like, oh, that's a great idea. And that's really what it's kind of made for. We do make sales there. I mean, you look at Tata at K
Oh,
Art Project. She takes a 20x20 booth every year. It's her favorite show. She does Art Palm Beach, Red Dot, Context. She does the Affordable Art Fair and Art Expo in New York. She does a lot of shows, and her favorite show is Art Santa Fe. And that's like our least trafficked show. We get like 3,000 people through there. That's it. Like Miami was 40,000, but it's this little conclave in Santa Fe, New Mexico that seems to work, and it's easy, so easy. You go in the back door, you set up your booth, the hotels are nice, the food in Santa Fe is great. Some people like to go and just take a vacation, right? So, yeah.
Shireen,
That's that's what
you have your
San,
hand up.
San Francisco will be more of a contemporary art fair and like an art expo.
Mhm. Shireen, you had your hand up.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to share kind of two logistics things that are working for us. One, I put a link in the chat. I found these little social media cards with a QR code and an NFC code. And for all of the shows that we've done, like as far as getting follows and people interacting with social media, these cards helped us more than the thousands of postcards that we've sent out with QR codes and such. It's really cool. You can customize them so you can use them for an event for that. And then if you have another business, you can reassign the QR code to something else. Like you don't have to keep it dedicated. It has a really nice back end. You do need to tape them down. We did have somebody walk off with one of them thinking it was a business card they could take, but we really had a lot of activity on them. So 2 thumbs up on that. The second thing is that for my other business, I do a lot of shipping and I'm starting to ship a lot of pallets. And for those of you shipping crates around, if you don't know, Uber now has Uber Freight. And it's
Oh,
a phenomenally easy interface to use. You just put in, you go to Uber Freight, you don't have to put anything in to get an account. I don't think you might have to put your credit card. I can't remember, but there's no fee. And just think of like Uber with your car, they're doing it for pallets. And you get everything right up front, how much the insurance, you can add extra insurance, but it also tells you for every shipper, it'll give you like 20 shippers, what their liability allowance is, what their pallet cost is. You schedule everything on it. And I just wanted to share that because I couldn't believe how easy it is for those of us that are not shipping a whole container. So that's all I got.
that's great.
Yeah.
I love these cards.
Yeah, they're really cool. Really cool. And they have that little RF NFC or whatever it is in it. So if you hold your phone, you don't actually have to scan it. Your phone will connect with it.
Yeah.
What is that called? I can't remember. Anyhow,
QR code.
yeah, RFC.
Yeah, RFID.
Oh,
Yeah, RFID.
all right.
Okay, guys. Well,
Been
thank you.
enjoyable.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.